The stories you are about to see are real. The rewards up to $5 million are real. This is Crime Reports and Rewards with Griff Griffin and Dave Michaels, where you stay anonymous, the criminals don't. And now, this Crime Reports and Rewards special report.
Hi, this is Griff Griffin. This is the time of year when police neighborhood watch groups put out signs telling you to hide all your valuables and lock everything up. We agree, but you can't hide everything all the time. And locking yourself behind bars makes the bad boys the winners. You're behind bars and they're not. So what can you do? You can point out the bad boys doing all the other bad things they do constantly by calling Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS and have the bad boys arrested before you're fighting them off for your life. Crime Stoppers, where you remain anonymous and the bad boys are behind bars, not you. Columbia County Sheriff's deputies need your help finding two black males that broke in the front door of a home at 7400 block of White Oak Campground Road in Appling. The home invasion occurred about 5:40 a.m. Tuesday, but was not reported until much later. The couple told police they were asleep when two black males forced open the front door of their home. The black males were wearing gloves and both had handguns. One was wearing a mask. The couple were forced to lay on the floor and be hog-tied with duct tape. The suspects demanded to know where all the valuables were. The suspects made away with a Nissan Altima, $30,000 in cash, electronics, a purse, a handgun, and other items. Burglars also took some marijuana. The black males attempted to gain entry into a gun safe, but thank God were unable to do so. The car was recovered on Greenbrier Road, and the robbery may be related to a similar case in Thompson, where two black males reportedly entered an apartment there on July the 11th and assaulted the resident with a gun at that location. If you know who or where these robbers may be, please call the police. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text and email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and unhogtied. Does Columbia County have a blade raper? Maybe. On July 13th, shortly after 10 p.m., a resident returned to her residence at the Madison on the Green apartment complex. When she exited her vehicle and was walking to an apartment, she was attacked from behind and forced to perform sexual acts at knife point. The victim was able to break free from her attacker and made it to her residence, where she called the Columbia County Sheriff's Office. If you know who or where this blade raper, described as a black male with shoulder-length dreadlocks, wearing red gym shorts and a white t-shirt, who's about 6 feet tall and about 175 pounds, may be found, please call the Columbia County Sheriff's Office, Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or email and text your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and unraped. Richmond County Sheriff's deputies need your help finding two smash-and-grab robbery suspects. Police are looking for two suspects who drove to the Costco wholesale store on Riverwatch Parkway around 7:40 p.m. Wednesday and stole jewelry. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office confirmed that the suspects performed a smash and grab and then fled the store in a white Buick Regal with North Carolina tag BHK 8000. police identified the suspects as two black males wearing orange and yellow and white and a white shirt. One black male was heavy-set. If you think you know where or who was driving the car with Carolina tag BHK 8000 license plate that may be a white Buick Regal, please call the police. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text or email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and unrobbed.
And now, this Crime Reports and Rewards special report.
In case you haven't noticed, automatic license plate readers are now everywhere. We're happy the good guys use them, but we've seen other cars with them that are not cops. What are the laws about non-Leos using tag readers? We've seen a Volkswagen Beetle with them and another car reading tags, so we researched and to our amazement found just about anybody can buy a tag reader and just start reading everybody's tags. The technology has outrun law, so they haven't had time to correctly regulate it. So even though there is a question about it being legal or not, that's what they're doing. An early private sector mobile tag reader has applications for vehicle repossession and recovery. Although the application of tag readers by private companies to collect information from privately owned vehicles or collect it from private property, for example, driveways, has become an issue of sensitivity and public debate. Other tag readers use parking lots for parking lot enforcement and revenue collection from individuals who are delinquent on city or taxes or fines. You can go to our Augusta Crime Stoppers Facebook page and let us know how you feel about your movements being traced. Are you okay with strangers knowing where you go, when you got there, when you left, when you returned, and how long your car is and will be sitting or driving or moving anywhere? Do you think it'll be abused like other things are? Go to Facebook. Let us know.
And now, this Crime Reports and Rewards special report.
Recent crime stats fail to mention that for every $1 in crime you hear about, there are over 5 times that amount of crimes going on every day in the white-collar world of crime. White-collar crime is any time someone is victimized by someone or something else. That is a crime. Whenever there is a victim, even if the perpetrator never goes to jail but only pays a fine, that is still white-collar crime. So why don't you hear more about white-collar crime? For starters, police are typically not trained to recognize it, and white-collar criminals are almost never prosecuted because it's out of sight, it stays out of mind. White-collar criminals make their living gaining their victims' confidence, which is why they're called confidence men. Only more and more white-collar criminals are women. Because police are not trained to recognize it, white-collar crime continues to be the fastest-growing type of crime. Let's say a marina loans a key to an environmental group for an event. But as soon as the environmentalist gets the marina's key, she changes the locks and steals everything inside the building, including the building itself, the electricity, the water, the maintenance, and even county workers that the marina is forced to pay to maintain. This is the white-collar crime called conversion. It's when they take county property and then use it as their own to convert the stolen building into personal deposits into that non-governmental organization's bank accounts. An environmentalist has converted a county building and no one has arrested her for it because it is white-collar crime and the police and citizens do not know the law, so she gets away with it. Another is claiming that the Corps of Engineers said to lock the marina gates. The Army Corps of Engineers did not tell the environmentalists to lock the marina gates and has demanded she stop using their name. Another white-collar crime is filing a false police report. Recently, the environmental activists told the police and press that up to 6 boats had been cut loose and at least, they might break the dam. Or at least that's what she told the police and the press. But when she had to tell it to those looking right at the dock, she had to say there could have been 0 missing boats. Her suspected false police report launched an expensive search for the 6 missing boats that she said might break the dam. After spending a lot of time and money trying to stop the 6 missing boats from breaking the dam, we were told there may not be any missing boats at all. That whole search and that entire scenario was done to slander the marina in a suspected conspiracy to steal the marina contract after the victims poured 15 years of their lives and hundreds of thousands of dollars into what was a ghetto, no running water, or even a toilet, was turned into a nice marina. Now that the environmentalist is the one who the marina has to mail their rent to, guess what? The rent checks are, like Louis Lerner's IRS emails, missing. The checks sent to the environmentalist suspected of trying to steal the marina's contract, or, wait for it, missing. Imagine that. The part that makes it what legal experts think is a conspiracy is that others have agreed to go along with the scam and tell the county lawyers that the marina did not pay its rent, so the county lawyers would use county time and your money to evict the marina operator, thus dragging the entire county into the suspected white-collar crime. Now the environmentalist has reached into every single pocket of every single citizen and taken some of your hard-earned money without you suspecting a thing. See how hard white-collar crime is to see. Now the environmentalist is suspecting of committing regulatory capture. The phenomenon known as regulatory capture has long history and is a form of political corruption that occurs when a regulatory agency created to act in the public's interest instead advances the environmentalist interest. And the citizens are only lightly benefited. As a result, it's not uncommon for current environmental players to gain control of the watchdog, such as the Augusta Port Authority, and use it against an opponent, such as the marina that they're trying to take the contract from. Regulatory capture is a form of governmental failure. It creates an opening for campaigners to behave injurious to the public good. In other words, they're going to reach right into your pocket and grab your cash. See why it's so hard to spot white-collar crime? They look so good breaking the law, no one ever suspects a thing. The next time you see someone using county property, employees, and tax-paid resources to cause donations to go into their non-governmental organization's bank account, you may have just witnessed them reaching into every taxpayer's pocket, stealing their money, and committing a white-collar crime. If you know of any white-collar crimes, please call Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text and email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and keep con people out of your pockets.
And now, this Crime Reports and Rewards special report.
This week, Crime Reports and Rewards got the biggest and most pleasant surprise we've had since we started in 2010. Greg Rickabaugh, the owner and founder of the Jail Report, wrote us and said, "Did you see this from the Jail Report? Sheriff Roundtree answered your question." The question was, why do police all over share Crime Stoppers 800-222-TIPS line and Richmond County doesn't? Wouldn't it be nice to share the tip line, have the killers, rapists, home invaders, armed robbers, carjackers, and other violent criminals arrested? You get the credit, and Crime Stoppers pays the reward. Why aren't Richmond County tipsters allowed to get stacks of cash for calling in tips anonymously like the rest of the world? And Sheriff Roundtree answered, when this question was originally asked, I was not familiar with a Crime Stopper organization in Augusta and really did not like the tone in which the question was asked. Since that time, I have met the person who runs the organization. He participated in and completed one of our citizen police academies, and they often share information with us that they receive about crimes in Richmond County. So, as promised, I looked into it, and now we have a great partnership with Crime Stoppers. To which we replied, "Thank you, Greg and Sheriff Roundtree. You just made our whole world. We need your help, Sheriff Roundtree, sir. If you can share the 800-222-TIPS line with every fleeing and evading felon or unsolved case, someone may know something, but just never got around to calling you guys. We want to thank Road Patrol for picking up, on average, about 90% of all tips we sent in, and also want to thank CID for working so diligently on some fleeing felons that they thought could run from Richmond County by moving to another town. The long arm of the Richmond County Sheriff's Office just got a lot longer. I appreciate you guys. Have a happy 4th. And that is just about the best news Crime Stoppers has heard in a long time. Thank you, Sheriff Roundtree, for partnering with Augusta Crime Stoppers. Now, every time any violent fleeing and a felon or an unsolved case comes up, there is an automatic cash bounty reward placed on that bad guy. With Crime Stoppers, whenever you send the tip and Road Patrol picks them up, which can be within an hour or so, you get paid cash money as soon as possible, not years later. So go to our Augusta Crime Stoppers Facebook page, like us, follow us, keep your eyes peeled for the bad guys, and get stacks of cash from us. Thank you, Greg Rickabaugh and Sheriff Roundtree and the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. Richmond County Sheriff's deputies report 16 guns and a bunch of ammo were stolen from A1 Jewelry and Pawn, 3036 Deansbridge Road at 3:50 a.m. on Saturday morning. Investigators found that the front door and window and a large display case had been broken into, and 9 shotguns, 7 rifles, unknown amounts of 12-gauge shotgun ammo, 22 caliber ammo, and an Xbox 360 were stolen. If you've watched Crime Reports and Rewards since 2010, you may remember they were offered help. They refused it, and now this. This is the same outfit that said they don't need help stopping crime. Now they've left how many guns and how much ammo out all night behind glass that anyone could come along and break? What could go wrong? When pawn shops who are stacked with guns and ammo refuse to stop crime, leave weapons unsecured, and people die, do you think they should share in some of the responsibility when someone gets injured and killed? Hey, let's put a bunch of guns behind glass all night on the bad side of town. What could go wrong? We aren't going to say we don't need your help stopping crime, because we do need your help to get these guns off the street before someone gets killed. What should the police do if one of these guns are used to kill one of our Leos? Go to our Facebook page by searching for Augusta Crime Stoppers and let us know. A local blogger asked, isn't A1 Pawn Shop on the corner of Deansbridge Road the one broken into Saturday, and Lyman Street right across from Villa Europa, one street over from Dover Street where the person was shot? We don't know if the two are connected, but if you know anything about either of these crimes, please call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text and email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and keep your gun.
And now, this Crime Reports and Rewards special report.
The Justice Department today announced a multinational effort to disrupt the Game Over Zeus botnet, a global network of infected victim computers used by cybercriminals to steal millions of dollars from business and consumers. In a separate action, U.S. and foreign law enforcement officials worked together to seize computer servers central to the malicious software or malware known as CryptoLocker, a form of ransomware that encrypts the files on a victim's computers until they pay a ransom. Victims of Game Over Zeus may use the following website created by DHS's Computer Emergency Readiness Team for assistance in removing the malware. That address is www.us-cert.gov/GameOverZeus. Game Over Zeus is the most effective botnet the FBI and our allies have ever attempted to disrupt, said FBI Executive Assistant Director Anderson. The efforts announced today are a direct result of the effective relationships we have with our partners in the private sector, international law enforcement, and within the U.S. government. The borderless, insidious nature of computer hacking and cyber theft requires us to be bold and imaginative, said U.S. Attorney Hickton. We take this action on behalf of hundreds of thousands of computer users who were unwittingly infected and victimized. An investigation identified the Game Over Zeus network as a common distribution mechanism for CryptoLocker. Unsolicited emails containing an infected file purported to be a voicemail or shipping confirmation are also widely used to distribute CryptoLocker. When opened, those attachments infect victims' computers. You may have received emails asking you to open a .zip file. If you have opened a .zip file, your computer may already be infected and your files could be locked or your bank accounts emptied at any moment. Game Over Zeus, also known as peer-to-peer Zeus, is an extremely sophisticated type of malware designed to steal banking and other credentials from the computers it infects. Unknown to their rightful owners, the infected computers are also secretly becoming part of a global network of compromised computers known as a botnet, a powerful online tool that cyber criminals can use for numerous criminal enterprises, besides stealing confidential information from the infected machines themselves. Game Over Zeus, which first emerged around September 2011, is the latest version of Zeus malware that it began appearing as early as 2007. Game Over Zeus decentralized peer-to-peer structure differentiates it from the earlier Zeus variants. Security researchers estimate that between 500,000 and 1 million computers worldwide are infected with Game Over Zeus, and that approximately 25% of the infected computers are located in the United States. The principal purpose of the botnet is to capture banking credentials from infected computers. Those credentials are then used to initiate or redirect wire transfers to accounts overseas that are controlled by cyber criminals. The FBI estimates that Game Over Zeus is responsible for more than $100 million in losses. The Game Over Zeus botnet operates silently on victims' computers by directing those computers to reach out to receive commands from other computers in the botnet and to funnel stolen banking credentials back to the criminals who control the botnet. In addition to the disruption operation against Game Over Zeus, the Justice Department led a separate multinational action to disrupt the malware known as CryptoLocker, which began appearing about September 2013 and is also a highly sophisticated malware that uses cryptographic key pairs to encrypt the computer files of its victims. Victims are forced to pay hundreds of dollars and often as much as $700 each or more to receive the key necessary to unlock their own files. If the victim does not pay the ransom, it is impossible to recover their files. Security researchers estimate that as of April 2014, CryptoLocker had infected more than 234,000 computers, with approximately half of those in the U.S. One estimate indicates that more than $27 million in ransom payments were made in just the first 2 months since CryptoLocker emerged. If your computer has been infected by this malware, please call Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or email or text your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and keep hackers out of your computer.
And now, this Crime Reports and Rewards special report.
The FBI today announced a national campaign to deter people from pointing lasers at aircraft, a federal violation that presents danger to pilots, passengers, and those on the ground. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $10,000 for information that leads to the arrest of any individual who aims a laser at an aircraft. The reward is available for 90 days in all 56 FBI field offices. Since the FBI and the Federal Aviation Administration began tracking laser strikes in 2005, data shows that a more than 1,100% increase in the deliberate targeting of aircraft by people with handheld lasers. Intentionally aiming a laser at an aircraft poses a serious threat to those in the air and on the ground. And it's a serious crime with serious consequences, said Airline Pilots Association International President Captain Lee Moak. The Laser Threat Awareness Campaign has resulted in an overall reduction of incidents, and we look forward to continuing to work with the FBI on these efforts. Thousands of laser attacks go unreported every year. If you have information about a lasing incident, please call Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or email or text your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org. Under federal law, knowingly pointing a laser pointer at an aircraft is a federal offense carrying a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office reports that each of the individuals you see on your screen are wanted for questioning in several local store thefts in this area. Every time someone steals from a store, that store must raise prices somewhere to make up the difference. This is just one reason why gas has gone up. Built into each gallon of gas you buy is the profit margin stolen when thieves steal things from stores. Thieving is so bad at so many stores now, gas, groceries, and several other items have taken a noticeable price increase to cover all the stealing going on. Many local businesses have gone out of biz, and thousands of local jobs have been lost due to rampant stealing that happens so often store employees don't even have enough time to speak to investigators about all the thefts, so the thefts go unreported. Crime Reports did a study a while back that even if you hire security for your place of biz, the security may look the other way and let relatives / people they feel a bond with and or friends steal from the store without stopping them. Recently, a Crime Stopper alerted store security to several individuals that were all stealing from the store. But the store security felt some sort of allegiance to the thieves and let them steal. If you know who or where these subjects may be, or you see store security letting his friends or whoever steal the store blind, call Captain Steve Morris of the Columbia County Sheriff's Office at 706-541-5400. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or send your text or emails to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and lower prices.
You've been watching Crime Reports and Rewards with Griff Griffin and Dave Michaels, where you stay anonymous. The criminals don't. If you have any information on these or any other crimes, call our national tip line at 1-800-222-TIPS. Well, you'll stay anonymous and could get a cash reward. You can see this or any other episode of Crime Reports and Rewards on the web anytime at crimereportsandrewards.com. Crime Reports and Rewards is a production of Michaels Media.